Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to you, Steve. It's good to have you
and
here.
And welcome to you, good sir.
I don't know where that came from. Welcome to the show. The name pretty much spells it out. We are comics, and we are solving problems. We do it twice a week. This is the Tuesday show, I think. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. At least here it is. And we look at the world's problems. We can look at your problems. So a couple things before we get stuck in with the first one, which Steve's going to kick off in a second. Mm-hmm. If you want, we are trying to keep an eye on all the different social medias because this is live. If you want to Facebook message us, tweet at us, YouTube chat us. If you've got a problem you want us to tackle, because who better to deal with your problems than two people who are still essentially forbidden to work. And comics. I mean, it's not like we're going to make a joke about your problem. Anyway, just be careful. But also, the world has problems. And we've been doing this show. We're in season 2. This is episode 10. Since we went into lockdown originally back in March. And the world has gotten worse, but that's not our fault. So we're going to deal with some of the world's problems. And before we kick off, if you're on Facebook, you can share the show. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. I don't know if you can share it on YouTube, but you can.
It gives you a shareable link, and then you can share that link all over the place. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. You can ding the bell, whatever that means. You can chat, whatever. All those things are there. Twitter, you could retweet us. I think we gave up on LinkedIn. Sorry, guys. Next time.
Brief side note. You have to apply for additional accreditation to stream on LinkedIn, which I've now done. So I'm waiting for them to get back to us.
Good Lord. That'll be what really breaks us. And if you're enjoying what we do throughout the show, we will pop up the Ko-fi or the various links where you can send us a drink. And we appreciate that because we're very much underemployed at the moment. So if you ever think during the show, that was funny, I would buy those guys a drink, that's how you can do it. So Sweet. It's very simple. There we are. Steve?
Let's solve a problem. Okay, let's get into the problem of the rules. So it's new rules, by the way, because now it's the rule of 6, and it's all kicked in from as of yesterday. There was a headline saying large parties shut down, which we all know means not a problem for the Lib Dems. But for everyone else, it's been tricky because this weekend was the start of a heat wave, and the last time that we were allowed to go out in groups of larger than 6, people were calling it the party weekend. But that's just because they didn't bring the rules in time. So everyone's just as infected as they were like on Monday and going out to spread it more. So I tell you what, I am so considerate. I'm so level-minded. I'm so nice that this weekend I didn't go to any parties.
Was that really?
What are you getting at? What are you getting at? Look, I know you might be thinking, how many parties were you invited to? And to that I would say, shh. Don't worry about it. Just thank me. You're welcome. So I'm saving lives over here, Eric. I don't know why you're not giving me more credit for it.
That was creepy.
That's what I went for.
That.
Yeah, it's pretty quite.
It was creepy.
That's what I went for. But yeah, the new rules are in now. You can't meet up with more than 6 people. And there's a big question. What if you see a group of 6 or 7 or more people? What do you do?
Yeah.
Should you dob them in?
Yeah.
You would, by the sounds of it. Interesting.
You're asking me? You're asking me? Yeah. I mean, I've called in a few, well, especially to my children's school. There's a lot of them gathered together.
That would bring the class size down and would benefit your children. So, okay, that makes sense.
To be fair, I wouldn't do that because I want them to stay in school.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want them to get sick, but my God, a week of it's been amazing.
You're not in, well, I don't know if you're in good company or not, because one person we know would call the police on someone is Priti Patel. She would call the police if her neighbours broke the rule of 6. But to be fair, she'd call the police if someone was doing counter-terrorism, which means she's going to have a big phone bill. She's going to be making a lot of phone calls on that.
I would hope so.
I don't know if I'd call... It just feels like you're being a snitch. It just feels like, oh, you're dobbing people in for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I'm not the kind of person who does that kind of spying on people, but we all know there's a certain type of people who will very much be enjoying this new rule.
Can I just say hello, thank you for coming to this Neighbourhood Watch meeting. I just want to address a few issues. I know there's been a lot of discussion about whether we should report people for breaching the rule of 6. Some people find that might be spying on our neighbours, but I would say we are the neighbourhood watch. Spying on our neighbours is our raison d'etre. So I, for one, will be reporting people for breaching the rule of 6. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you, David. It's 2 of us.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you. 3.
Yep.
That's 4.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That's 5. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'll do it.
6.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So there's a certain kind of person who's going to be right into all of this, and that's thankfully not me. And also we did say that's a sketch with 7 Steves in it. That's what you wanted earlier on. We were chatting about the show, and Eric said,
I came to you, and I said, Steve, this is you. Because if you've not watched the show before, go back, watch some of the previous episodes. Steve's been really, he's been deeply affected by this crisis, and he spends a lot of time with himself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say playing with himself. That's not the right phraseology. But filming himself. Oh, that's not right either.
Seems wrong as well. I have bought a new tripod for this, and that's how that sketch worked. It's a Chris Evans reference that no one thought we'd be doing. But anyway, back to the problem that we're trying to solve, these rules. It's not just about pre-arranged groups of 6. There's a new problem on the horizon, and that's mingling, or as Priti Patel always seems to call it, mingling.
Well, mingling is people coming together. That is my definition of mingling. It's people coming together.
Okay.
That's my definition of bukkake. But anyway, she said...
Just to be clear, if a family of 4 is out on their way to a park and they see another family of 4 that they know and they stop to have a chat with them, is that mingling?
Well, it is mingling. I think it is absolutely mingling.
Do you know what? It's absolutely mingling. When she says it without the G, it does sound like an insult. But it's the first thing this government have done right. Yes, you should be fined for mingling. I'll go a step further. If you're the kind of person who stops to have a conversation with someone in the pavement and makes it hard to get by, lock them up. If you're the kind of person who thinks that a shop doorway is the place for a chat, no, you're going down. If you're the kind, and I've seen this before, the kind of idiot who thinks the place for a goodbye, see you later conversation is the top of an escalator. Oh my God. Lock them up, throw away the key. I'm with Priti Patel on this one. I never thought I'd say that. So they're doing good. They're doing good with sorting out the mingling. But there's another conjugated verb that's caused problems, hunting. And this is coronavirus hunting exempt from the rule of 6 restrictions in England, specifically grouse hunting. I don't know, as an immigrant, have you come across the grouse hunting?
20 years I've been in this country, and I have seen very few non-human wild animals. I've heard about the badger, never seen one. The fox, the urban fox, I've got plenty of those. I don't even know, what is a grouse? Is it
like a pheasant type thing?
Oh, it's a bird.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking like it's a small badger. It's genuinely a bird.
Yeah. It's a game bird, which again sounds wrong. But it's
so
brown.
Large groups of men can get together and go after a game bird.
Yep. It's a it's a brown feathered bird. Look, you must know the whiskey, famous grouse. The bird on the front of that bottle, that's a grouse.
I thought it was ironic. Okay.
It's not ironic. I must admit, I didn't understand why you need to have more than 6 people. Because I don't want to show off or anything, but I think I could take down a grouse without ganging up on them, because you're armed, and importantly, the grouse isn't. So this is not like at the end of the film Heat, where you're trying to chase each other through a field, hiding away from each other's shots. No, only one of you's got a gun and the intention to kill the other one. You don't need a gang to sort out a grouse. But this has been one of those things that's made the Tories look bad, because everyone's been saying, this is showing they're the party of the posh. Well, as a working class lad growing up in the Midlands, I will tell you, when I read that grouse hunting was still happening, I was very happy, because I can't tell you how many conversations up north are going like this.
So what you up to this weekend then?
Oh, I'm off doing a little bit of that grouse shooting.
Grouse shooting?
Them grouse are playing havoc down allotment. But we'll make a day of it. We'll shoot some grouse, eat some caviar, drink some port.
Port?
You know, port, lager, whatever we've got in fridge, really. Make a proper day out of it, though, you know.
Can you still do that then, what with all COVID restrictions?
Yeah, they've made it exempt.
Oh.
Just another example of this Tory government levelling up for working class.
Right.
Yep, they're my people. Thank you to some of the comments coming through. So let's go to the comment box. Mark says, you're a gent, Steve. This is because I didn't go to parties. Thank you, finally, and being appreciated for the effort that I put in. He also says that Priti Patel is a total mingler. Harsh.
Ooh, because when you say mingler, like it sounds a bit like mingin.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite British words. There's a few words we don't have mingin in the U.S. I mean, we do have it. We've got it.
Yeah,
but we don't call it that.
There's one later in the show, definitely. Are you worried about being fined for minging in public?
For minging in public? I mean, it did finally kind of dawn on me today because we've got friends who have kids. I was like, oh yeah, we can't get together with them because there's 4 of us in the family and the dog, so there's 5 of us. So that means we could only see one of them, and I know which one I'd want to see.
Yeah. It's so good, isn't it? I'm loving this as a piece of this is the kind of thing that if you're forced to go on some sort of social event, if you get chatting to people in the bar and you make that group bigger than 6, sorry, looks like we have to go home. It's the only reason I'd actually start talking to strangers. So look, Chris says, good evening, chaps. He's have a look, what else has been going on? He says, I've never mingled. I prefer to lurk. Well, they've not said there's any rules against lurking.
That's true. And I would imagine that Priti's done some lurking in her day. You're getting complimented on your multiple methods going on there. 7 Steves for 7 brothers.
Oh,
nice.
Mark says, reet good method. Thanks. Reet good. That's, that's a northern compliment.
And northern compliments are rare. Oh, I'm just trying to check.
Did you understand any word of that sketch, Eric, when I was being northern?
I've been here 20 years. I got some of it, I mean, if they were real northern, I would have struggled.
Yeah. What do you mean? I am. Stop. Someone else earlier on, when I posted the clip of it on Twitter, said, that was good method acting. No, that's the real me. This is when I feared never working in media, so I had to dial down my accent. This is the fake version. The real version, if I'd have stayed in Mansfield, would have been up, flat cap, and talking about grouse.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have. I mean, I do remember a horrific gig in Newcastle once where the entire audience of Stag Do's was northern, and I could not talk to them. It ended badly. Yes. Heather said I'm brilliant and confirmed that a grouse is indeed a bird. So thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's good because Steve sometimes lies to me, so I appreciate independent voices kind of backing me up.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have thought of telling you it was some sort of ostrich-related thing or a flightless bird the size of an emu.
When you linked it to the alcohol, then I remembered. So if you mentioned the fact that the grouse makes is it grouse whiskey? Is it whiskey?
Famous grouse whiskey, yeah.
Yeah, if you'd mentioned the whiskey first, I'd been like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But you know, we're not above sponsorship, so now we've mentioned Famous Grouse whiskey 3 times.
Can we invoice them based on that?
Get in touch. If they send us a free crate, do you get whiskey by the crate? Have I got problems? I don't know. I
guess if you're enjoying the show, the link there, we will spend it on whiskey grouse.
Yeah, we'll make you that promise. Good stuff. You can keep the stuff, the messages coming through wherever you're watching it. You should be able to messages. Plus, there's the Twitter things on screen as well. And yeah, if you're enjoying it enough that you'd buy us a drink at the end of it, we can't meet you because you'd be too many people. But you can put some money in the links below. Yes, you can. Right. This isn't the only problem we have, Steve. There's more things. I mean, this is one. I mean, I've never been one of those kind of people like, 1776 is a bad year. Whatever year you're choosing. I don't quite remember 1776, but that's the year that came to mind. Is 2020 a bad year? 2019, whatever. But I mean, this year, I don't know. I think, we've had everything. I mean, if this was a bingo of shit, you'd have it all. I mean, asteroids coming near the Earth. Yep. Oh, there's one. Brexit, is falling apart. Oh, nailed that. Trump could win. He could win, Steve. He could win. We haven't even gotten to the pandemic or the fact that we might have found life on Venus. All of these things are going on. Yeah. So now, on top of that, if you're trying to score it all out, we've got massive forest fires happening in the U.S. Now, I know British massive and American massive are 2 very different things. So I know it's very difficult to visualize, but luckily we've got this headline just to show how big these fires are. The fires are bigger than London. Wow. Bigger than New York, right? This is what normally people say it's the size of Wales, but this is huge.
This is huge, right? And that was from August. The fires have only grown since then. So we've got California's on fire, Oregon's on fire, Washington, my home state, is on fire. And have you seen, I mean, the images, or have you followed, I don't know if you follow this, but basically it's so foggy and misty and everything else. Essentially, the sky has turned orange. It's incredible. We've got a clip of it here. I mean, look at that. It's just awful. Just incredible. The orange. Oh, my God. What is that? What is that? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's coming from him.
I mean, it actually is his skin colour in that clip.
It is.
I mean, you didn't have to edit that at all.
He's there the entire time.
Oh, God.
The gates of hell have opened. Yes, Trump did arrive in California to finally survey the damage. He's been basically ignoring the fires because, I don't know, maybe Putin started them. But he was also denying climate change, which isn't really his wheelhouse. But he finally sat down with some of the people in California and was getting a briefing on what's going on and the fact that it might be linked to climate change. Here's his briefing.
So Wade and Tom, please.
Yeah, well, from our perspective, there is amazing partnership on the ground, and there needs to be. As the governor said, we've had temperatures explode this summer. You may have learned that we broke a world record in the Death Valley, 130 degrees. But even in...
Hang on.
Did you see that at the end there, Steve, where he looks over, he's like...
He's impressed.
He's proud. He's like, yeah.
Broke a world
Biggest,
record.
best economy, best president, biggest fires. Oh, yeah? Yeah? How hot was it? Was it a 10? Because I like my fires like I like my women. Smoking. But how hot has it been in L.A., Steve?
I don't know.
It's been really hot. Here it is.
But even in greater LA, 120 plus degrees.
Yeah. 120 degrees, Steve. Now, these are real degrees, okay? These are Fahrenheit. This isn't this wimpy Celsius that you bastards do over here. You know, since we're finally getting out of Europe, can we get real temperatures back? I'm on board with that.
Wimpy.
Real
Wimpy.
No one understands Celsius,
Right.
Steve. It's impossible to understand. It doesn't make any sense. It's not, oh, it's hot when it's 30 degrees. 120 degrees.
It makes sense,
Heat.
does it? It makes sense because
Makes
water
total
freezes
sense.
at 0, boils at 100.
Water
Nailed
freezes
it.
at 30. Duh.
I think you call Celsius and centigrade wimpy. Which would you rather be in? 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius?
No one knows what that means.
Which one's
You can say
kicking
these
your
things. It's totally unscientific. Anyway, not what we're talking about. There's an answer to this crisis, and Trump knows what it is.
We want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests, and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler.
Oh, yeah. It'll start getting cooler, Steve. Like me. Although, to be honest, as I get cooler, I just get hotter.
Okay.
Like it?
Are they your daughters?
What? No, these are mine.
Oh, God, that's even worse.
Right. But that expert, Steve, that scientific guy, couldn't keep his mouth shut. He kept pushing back against the President of the United States.
It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually.
Yeah. That sounds like my daughter. I don't think science knows, Dad. Oh, yeah, I know your science, and your science sucks. I wouldn't be seen with your science. Ugh. But I know you're a big science guy.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Trump knows what he's talking about. You can see it right here.
When trees fall down after a short period of time, about 18 months, they become very dry. They become really like a matchstick. And they get up, there's no more water pouring through, and they become very, very, they just explode.
That's right, Steve.
Is it?
You know what those trees?
Yeah.
Not only do they explode, it's probably ISIS.
ISIS trees.
It's probably al-Oak tree.
Nice.
Muhammad al-Oak tree. And I knew you'd laugh. I knew you'd laugh at that.
Yeah.
Because you think Trump doesn't believe in science and all that stuff. But he knows what he's... I mean, he actually showed us in this documentary proof. Right here.
I stand corrected.
science and talking bunnies.
Yeah, yeah. The hardest thing to believe in that scene is not the exploding tree. Oh God, it always bothers me when people who don't understand science think that science is the thing that can't know. So, like, I don't think science knows. But yeah, I mean, so there are loads of things that science doesn't know, but it knows more than Donald Trump. And also, it's not just a thing; it's a process of finding out information. It's not like the house of science, and it's all kept in there. Oh, do you know what? If you don't like science, put your phone down, because we invented it and you didn't. And also, back away from that penicillin you get. So if you don't like science, then don't get the benefits.
All right, Steve. I know you believe in science. I believe in different things. I believe my phone is a magic box given to me by the angel of Steve Jobs. Okay. I believe it.
Mark says Oak Kaida.
Oak Kaida.
Do you know?
Nice.
Can we do that in the comment section? Terrorist style puns on types of trees. That'd be great.
That's not. Yeah, if you could maybe do some Irish ones as well, so it seems less racist. I don't know if that makes it less racist or not. What other people are terrorists? Americans have been terrorists. You could do some American ones.
There are far right ones as well. You could do far right.
Yeah, there you go. Far right. The UK will use Fahrenheit. Yes, Mark. When the US racetracks start using furlongs instead of an eighth.
Yep, wow. It's a proper measurement. If you like your imperial, commit to it.
Yeah.
Talking about being from Mansfield, Chris says, I'm not far away from Mansfield. I might go and find the Stephen Allen Blue Peter plaque. Just the blue plaque. I could do with the Blue Peter plaque. And I believe it's on the side of a bus shelter in the town centre. Steve stood here. Yes, although they've moved Mansfield Town bus centre, but the Sutton in Ashfield bus stop is the same one. But they have moved. It used to be in the main shopping centre in the Four Seasons. Top tip.
What?
Any Mansfield fans are loving this right now.
I would imagine that's a very niche. Maybe that's what we need to specialize the show on. Yeah. Just Mansfield news all the time.
Mark says that he likes. He says, "I love the Tango Man's answer to the fires. Don't worry about the fires; it'll be getting cold soon." Yeah, I mean, nighttime's colder than day, so I don't know why they're not sorted yet. Honestly, those fires.
The problem is, he said coronavirus is going to go away when it got hot, and he's saying the fires are going to go away when it gets cold. So that's not worked out.
I mean, so far he's 0 for 2.
He's 0 for a lot more than that. Yes, Steve's put the link up there. If you're enjoying us, please, you can throw us a drink. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell people about the show if you enjoy it, because this is all we got. No, I mean, we think it's fun, and we'd love for more people to enjoy it.
And Stephen Leatherdale on Twitter says, would a group of 7 or more Morris dancers be arrested for jingling mingling? Danny, these are the questions that we're here to get to the bottom of.
We want to know. We want to get to the bottom of something.
So while people are hopefully contributing money, sending messages, and thinking up various offensive names of trees that sound a bit like anything that's to do with terrorism, Antleafer, just putting that one out there, then we also need to deal with another problem, and it's the problem of masks. And it's actually the problem of people who think that masks are a problem. How do you deal with the problem of people who think masks are a problem? It's a double problem. It's a Mobius strip of problems.
We can do it, Steve.
There was a protest in America. I mean, there's been many protests, but this one got some coverage that we all saw on social media. And I just wanted to go through some of the news coverage because I think it tells us a lot about what we're dealing with. So the package starts like this.
Hundreds have gathered here in front of the Washington County Administration building calling for the end of a mask mandate, saying they are tired of not living their normal lives.
So they end the mask mandate. They're tired of not living their normal life. I realise there's some hypocrisy I'm about to lay into them. I'm not wearing a mask right now. And I should point out I'm not wearing a mask for medical reasons because I've got glaucoma or whatever it's called. No, wait a minute. That's why I smoke pot. No, wait a minute. That's not me. That's every character in every comedy film from the 90s. I do get confused because I confuse myself with them quite a lot because I do smoke a lot of pot. No, that's them again. I've done it again. But the question is, what are these normal lives that they just can't wait to get back to? Let's have a look at the caliber of people we're dealing with. No more masks! Muzzles. Oh, the muzzles again. We've covered this so many times. There's a difference between a mask and a muzzle is put on something to stop it biting. So if you're going to leave the house and bite someone, put a goddamn muzzle on. If you're that much of an idiot you can't comprehend the difference, maybe think about having one of those plastic cones around your neck to stop you licking your own balls as well, you idiot. These people. So
nothing wrong with licking your own balls, Steve.
Hey, I'm not saying there are. It's better than licking someone else's. And if you are going to lick someone else's balls, put some hand gel on them first. But
ooh, no.
Yeah, there's a forest fire that's not going to cool down for a while. But then they interview some of the people at the protest. Let's see what kind of intellects we're dealing with.
The flu kills more than coronavirus.
Thank you, Professor. I mean, he's right. In terms of absolute figure, the flu has killed more. The flu that's been around for absolutely ages has killed more people than the novel coronavirus. Yeah, but also, I suppose you could say that smoking in the UK killed about 7 million people a year over the last couple of years. Driving or driving-related fatalities, less than 2,000. So smoking kills more people than driving, so take that seatbelt off. Go on, knock yourself out, literally. You will still die, but you'll barely move the needle statistically. And that's what that kid seems to care about for some reason.
But I mean, bless him, that kid. He looks like he's either reading off of a teleprompter or is in a hostage situation. So what do I have to say to the man, Mommy? That kills more. Please save me. I mean, you got to feel.
You think that kid's not doing his own thing? Thinking, please, I want to go. I want to go and rant about maths.
I just want to go play, Mommy. Please don't make me mark anymore. I have in this whole piece. The child is the only one I have just a little bit of sympathy for. Not much, because he's there. He's made his life choices.
No, I've got sympathy with him now, but give him 10 years and he'll also be one of these contemptible, whatever Hillary Clinton called them. But let's hear from another expert.
The virus a hoax, or stating that asymptomatic carriers simply do not exist.
They say that asymptomatic carriers do not exist. And why do they disagree with science so much? And bear in mind, I think I was one. I've got the antibodies. I didn't have any symptoms. I'm presuming I was contagious for a while, but thankfully I was staying at home because that was the rules anyway, and I was sticking to the rules. So, but it's odd that they think that asymptomatic carriers don't exist just because they've thought about it and disagree with people with microscopes. I understand it's probably them thinking like, well, if I don't see it, then I don't believe it's true, and that is my right, a right given to me by the Lord mighty above, for which there is no evidence but in which I believe. These are the people that we're dealing with. Let's go on now. Actually, I need to give you a trigger warning for the next one. I'm not offended by much, but this next woman has managed to offend me. In what she says, it is so ridiculous, but I wanted to include it so we can rip it apart afterwards. Here we go.
When George Floyd was saying, I can't breathe, and then he died, and now we're wearing a mask, and we say, I can't breathe, but we're being forced to wear it anyway.
Oh my God. Anyway. Is she thinking her plight is anywhere near that of George Floyd? That somehow they are comparable? He said he couldn't breathe, but you know what? He couldn't breathe. You're saying you can't breathe, but you know what? You can breathe. You could put that mask on and 20 minutes later, you're not going to be dead. He wasn't complaining about it being a discomfort and an annoyance. How is she not getting this in her head?
But to be fair, when you talk like that, that means you're clearly not using your nasal cavity to breathe. It's just there because you have to be able to breathe through your mouth and to project your voice through your nose like that so that you can feel it in there and stuff like that because you can't breathe, which is hard because you do eat a lot. And
yeah, imagine when she blows her nose and then she's like, I can breathe. Oh my God.
Her voice drops about like this octave. She's like, maybe I could wear a mask. I think I could.
She answers her own question as well. Like, why is it that they're not being treated the same? And even she says, he said he couldn't breathe and then he died. She said she can't breathe. Why are we not being treated the same? Because he died. How are you not getting this through your robust head? Does she think she's going on some kind of thick lives matter protest? Because why on earth did she think that she is anywhere near the same kind of ballpark of complaint? Okay, so she made me angry. Thankfully, there are other idiots there to say other stuff that just tickles me with how stupid it is.
I'll tell you another reason I hate masks. Most child molesters love them.
Oh, I love that. Most child molesters. So she's done surveys. Yep. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable would you say a mask is while you are molesting a child? Is it 1? I mean, and also I love the idea that that's why you shouldn't do it. We shouldn't wear masks because child molesters like them, and who knows who will be going out there doing some molesting if we're all wearing masks. And I kind of agree with it. I think
well,
she's...
you know what else?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What else child molesters like? Sweets.
That's true. So ban... Actually, flipping, let's do it. She says ban the mask because the child molesters like them. Ban them. You say ban sweets because child molesters like them. Ban them. Can we think of anything else that child molesters really like? Kids. So, sorry, son, I'm afraid if you run with a mob, at some point that mob is going to turn on you. And this old granny has run through the stats and she's worked out that flu kills way more people than child molesters, so you're done. And that is the sad case of what happens if you join these mobs. So, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Do you know what? I'm kind of done with you.
But she said most child molesters. That means someone's done a survey of child molesters, which is actually the easiest way to catch them. Only complete this survey if you're a child molester. And also, we'll be completing the survey at the local jail. I shouldn't do that voice.
There's one child molester going, I hate they're really in the way because I can't breathe. And George Floyd said he can't breathe and he died. So why do I have to wear one?
Yep.
Oh, God, these people. Let's have a look. So basically the comment section now is just turned into a list of different types of trees.
Yep. The English defense leaf.
That's good. That is
nice.
Very good.
That's very nice. Chris is Googling terrorist organizations from his hotel room. Go for it, Chris. That's very good.
Please tell me you're using incognito mode or maybe the Tor browser.
Do you know about that?
Please help out. IR Bay, says Chris. Good one.
Nice.
It's like IRA, but different. What else we got? I don't even recognise which ones are types of trees.
Yeah, I don't know. Japonica? I don't know what a japonica is.
No.
Is that a type of grouse?
It probably is. Islamic japonica.
See, if we don't know what it is, I don't want to read it out because it could be offensive.
Not quite sure.
So I'm not quite sure.
And then we're talking about Morris dancers, and Derek says, because the question is, should they be Morris dancers of more than 7 be arrested for jingling mingling? And Derek says, not if they were carrying guns as well as going on a shoot. So yeah, it's all took a turn. It's all got aggressive.
Oh dear. Right. If you're enjoying things, don't forget you can subscribe. Subscription button is there, and that's the drink button. You can do both. You can buy it, subscribe, and then go buy us a drink. Either way, the links are there, and do that. But right, I'm going to crack on, Steve, because we're already half past, and I've got another problem to talk about. You ready for this? This is moving away from the mask, but we seem to have a fairly COVID-related show today. This is about a big thing that's happening in the UK, is a problem with a lack of access to tests for COVID. Our cases are on the rise. We've got this rule of 6 that you've just talked about that's come in. And you know that the tests are going badly when even in the UK, because if you're watching from the US, the newspapers here are very slanted. Most of them are very right-wing. They employ most of the cabinet, if not support them. And you know it's going badly when even the conservative press are going after you, like we saw today. Here's the Telegraph, which Boris Johnson used to write for, still does. Crisis in hospitals because they can't access tests. The Times, owned by Rupert Murdoch, they had a go about it. All the papers did. And it didn't stop there, of course. We had this headline as well, which actually doesn't have anything to do with the COVID testing. But I just thought this man, this bold man, because of the heat. I mean, I don't know how hot it is. It's cold. I don't know. It's only 31 degrees. He must be freezing. But he's a chubby boy, and he's managed to be the front page of a newspaper. I've gained a little weight during lockdown, and this just makes me feel like maybe I've got some employable skills after this is all over.
Hope for you, yeah. So
I could be a model.
I look at that
for the
picture.
Daily Star.
I look at that picture and I think, wow, that Avengers actor Chris Evans has let himself go.
Well, that's not the only thing he's shown us these days. But my new hero, so the government's under heat and pressure, and on Sky News this morning, my new hero, the badass Kay Burley, oh my God, I just want her to tie me up and put a muzzle on me. She laid into some government ministers talking about testing. Here it is.
It's really not up to scratch at the moment, is it?
Well,
the Prime Minister's saying 10 million a day. We're not, I think the last count, let me just look at my figure, 62,000 a day at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, 10 million. He's saying 10 million. They were saying it was 10 million. It was only 62,000. There's a bit of a gap there between 10 million and 62,000. I mean, there's no way to know what that gap is. because that's just, it's impossible to say. No one knows what that number would be. There's no way to determine that because there's no way to do that kind of math. I mean, there's just no way. It's just like saying nobody knows, how long 6 inches is. It's about that long. That's 6 inches.
Can't tell on webcam.
Can't tell. But let's see what he has to say in response to that.
Well, we've gone from capacity from 0 to something like 370,000 capacity a day in very short order, and we think we'll have it at about 500,000 a day by the end of October.
We're having to send the tests to Germany and Italy because we can't keep up.
Yeah, no, there are always teething problems, and
teething problems.
Wow.
Teething problems. This is September. COVID started in the UK in January. It's 9 months. Teething. Babies get teeth faster than this government can do anything. They got a full set. Anyway, but he says he's getting it, right? He's got more for us. Don't worry.
We are getting millions of tests done every month, and lots of people are being identified and isolated.
Getting millions of tests done every month. Are you sure about that?
Well, if it's 370,000 capacity a
That's
day.
capacity. That's
Capacity,
not the...
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Kay gives him a yeah. If you ever get the Caperly yeah, you know you are screwed. Yeah, it's capacity, not actual tests, you dipshit. Capacity. I mean, everyone has unlimited capacity. I mean, this show has the capacity to make us famous, Steve.
Good point.
What do you think?
I mean, capacity,
I'm thinking we're getting 10 million. We have the capacity right now to make 10 million pounds from this show.
There's no upper limit on the contribution link.
I think it's more likely we'll make 62,000. I think we'll lose 62,000. Anyway, all right. I'm not having a bit of a go.
Yeah.
The thing is, actually, I don't think it's bad that we aren't getting these tests, because it may not be such a good thing, Steve, to test a lot of people. And I say that because I keep an eye on what's happening in America. Have a look.
How do you account for the fact that it's the United States of America that accounts for the 25% of the world's deaths?
Well, we do have more testing.
That's right, Steve. As the old saying goes, COVID doesn't kill people. Testing people kills people. Because that's the problem with the tests in America, is that, they give the test with a swab, generally, right? And in America, they're just using one. They're sharing the same swab, Steve. And so the first person that had it, they're like, it's your turn. It looks a little... And I know that sounds a little bit silly, but I've got proof. Here it is.
That's it. Why don't we give this to Karen? Perhaps she'll take an extra test.
Pass it around.
Passing it on. I mean, that's the news. The old saying. That's how you get rid. Because Trump is basically a mafioso. The old saying. That guy is going to go sleep with the fishes. That's the new one. Now you just say, take this swab. It's hardly been used.
You come to me on my daughter's wedding day. Take a swab.
You take a swab. I just tried it. It's the best swab. It's the biggest. It's the hottest swab. It's 120-degree swab. So there you go. Maybe these tests, we don't need them. If we take more tests in the UK, more people will die.
Technically, she makes sense. Even though it seems like you wouldn't. You imagine you get more cases for testing because you're finding cases that you would have gone unnoticed, but a death tends to be noticed. Like, what's the old joke? The love life was the same, but the dishes stacked up. That one, right? So you would tend to notice if someone's died. But I suppose, unless someone was tested to see if they had coronavirus, then you might not be scoring it as a corona death. Or if you know that they had it a week before they died, you're more likely to include it on the death certificate. Whereas if someone dies of a pneumonia-related condition, you could fiddle the figures by not testing. So, Trump, if you're watching, and I know you're a big fan of the show, get in touch. I can help you out, explain all these lies.
Yeah, he's also a big fan of fiddling. So.
Oh, wash your hands while singing Happy Birthday. But he's Donald Trump, so you might as well do it Marilyn Monroe style and sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
There you go.
Yeah, you are. Some of the messages coming through. So Derek and Stephen have had a conversation, and they've explained what this thing is about. So if it's a group of 7 going jingling mingling, you get away with it if you're going on a shoot to kill a grouse. So actually, this is one of the few times when the audience has solved a problem. If you want to meet in groups of more than 7 people, have one grouse and a gun. And you just walk around going like, any day now, he's been looking at me. And even maybe a bottle of famous grouse and a gun, I don't know. But
has that been clarified? Can you count the famous grouse as a grouse? If you're hunting for a bottle of grouse?
7 of you go around Sainsbury's.
Go on a grouse crawl.
Yep, good idea. Would a group of 7 people with pins and needles be done for tingling mingling? These questions we haven't answered. What about 7 waste operatives with pins and needles, tingling mingling binning? It's going to get difficult to say. It's like the catering thing. 7 people walk like an Egyptian, bangling mingling. Eric won't get that joke. Do you know that song? No, there we go.
No.
There we go. Okay.
That's
not
mine.
Kenny G. He ain't gonna get it.
What? Don't you start dissing Kenny G, all right? Is Kenny okay? I haven't heard his music for a while.
Ali
I need
G's
to check
dead,
that
right?
out. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Grandma's feather bed. Right. Have we reached the end?
Yeah, we've done all the problems. We've solved all the problems. We just need to make sure we are up to date and with various messages. I always like it when we get to the stage, when we get this way through the show, you get loads of messages, and then normally the DLive and Twitch spam starts to kick in. Want to be famous by followers. It says on this spam. But the reason I read it out is we don't need to buy followers. We have the capacity to have 1 million followers and all the fame we can handle. Spam
That's right.
is
I
contributing
told my wife
to the
about
show.
that capacity for a long time.
Well, she fell for it then. She fell for it again.
Yep, she hasn't left me yet. So, but you do also have the capacity to tell people about this show. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's sort of where we're focusing our subscription efforts. And again, we have fun doing the show, and we just want more people to find it and see it. So if you could share that link, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, send it on to other people, we're going to keep going on Facebook and Twitter and those kinds of things. So please keep sharing us.
A great thing with the YouTube is if you do subscribe, when you log into the YouTube app on your smart TV, presuming you have one, and we're live, it suggests us as something you can watch on your TV.
Ooh, on your TV. And we're getting better with the def. Don't know if anybody's noticed. My def has gone up.
Oh, God, I wonder what we're getting better with the def.
Definition.
Yeah, you're right. We're also, you can get subtitles on, auto-generated subtitles on Facebook and YouTube. But why would you bring that up, Eric? What was that?
They're welcome to watch the show. Not have me anyway. Yes. So please, if you can buy us a drink, obviously buy us a drink. We would love that. We would appreciate it. Anywhere. You've got the capacity to give anywhere from £3 to 10 million pounds. That capacity lives with you. We believe in the people that watch us. But if you can't get us a drink, then just please subscribe and share the show.
Yeah, as we used to say when we used to do these in Edinburgh, I would recommend not giving us 10 million pounds. I've just watched the show that it's not worth 10 million pounds, but if it's worth buying as a drink to help keep this whole business afloat, we promise to spend it well on things like food and I would say clothes, but nothing on the lower half. We've still not done that. So any contributions would be very much appreciated, chucked in our virtual pot.
Yep. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we will be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. in the United Kingdom time, or whatever time it is, wherever you are.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Till then, bye.
Bye.